Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here bringing you set 4 of SKT1 and Samsung Khan. Samsung Khan is on the ropes, having lost that pivotal third set with Stork falling to Fantasy. However, going into the fourth set, they have brought out their other big gun. Jangbi is in the house, playing against Alone. We're going to have Alone here at the 12 o'clock position for SKT in purple. And then here in the bottom left, it is going to be Jangbi. Jangbi. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. He's in red here in the bottom left. This map is Outlier. This is the map with all the temples and mineral things around the edges. So you see a lot of like probes and drones jumping over for scouting information and to take hidden bases. Those kinds of things. Shuttles and drops definitely become important as well. It doesn't quite play as ridiculous as Outsider. Outsider was just absolutely insane the way it ended up playing out, but it certainly isn't. It certainly is a little bit of a different. Certainly does make for some different games than you normally see because of the outer ring being so having so many resources and giving you so many backdoor opportunities. You really do see a lot of interesting plays on this map, especially for expansion. I mean, you can lose the middle of the map and you can still take expansions, which is crazy. This is like one of the only maps where you can actually get contained and continue to expand, like, comfortably. It's really weird. But it looks like Jamie's going to be changing it up here a little bit. He's actually going to go with the gateway first inside of his own base build. Going to start off with one base build. May actually see what we got going on here. Is that a second gate? Do I see a second gate? I can't tell. The red blob there is hard to tell, but there may be a second gate there. But we do have the a pool first build here from Alone, so we're not gonna have so Jamie's not gonna be able to just walk up there against a 12 hatch and then just pummel it down, but he is gonna go with the 2 gates here. And so when this happens, now he's got the 2 gates. What he's gonna do with the 2 gates, he's gonna pump out a bunch of zealots. He may try to get a little bit aggressive, but really he's gonna have to use the number of zealots he has to go up his ramp and establish his natural expansion. His other choice, of course, would be to create a fewer number of zealots, guard his ramp, and then just expand around the outer edges of the map. We could see either strategy here. I'm kind of curious just to see which one he decides to go for. I think he's going to try and just push up the ramp and take his natural, but like I said, it's certainly possible, certainly conceivable that he could just solidify his ramp and expand around the outside, probably counterclockwise. Could go clockwise, but probably going to be counterclockwise if I were a guessing man. Don't want to risk with those. That's just my guess. Let's see what we got going on here. Bisu and Fantasy hanging out. Bisu with that. I really don't like that red and blue, red and purple coat. I don't think red and blue actually go together. Like, primary colors generally don't go real well together. Red, blue, yellow, I just don't think they go really well together in clothing, and that is no exception. That is a pretty ugly looking, yeah, thing. I don't like it. But look, wait. I think Jangbi actually hopped his probe back over. He was inside Alone's base, and then he hopped it over to the other side. I thought he was over there and he was like trying to get in, but I think he actually hopped it outside, which is pretty hilarious. So he's gonna try and use that later on. He's gonna hop back in to Alone's base to check that out. We've got a hidden zealot there. Maybe gonna wander in and try and pick off the drones. If a bunch of zealots, a bunch of zerglings appear at Jamie's natural, he'll send that zealot into Alone's natural and try and pick off some drones. And we have drilled. He has actually drilled through that top left spot, so maybe he's gonna look to taking his expansion back there. We do have a bunch of. What? Okay, there's a lot of drones back there. Oh, you know what he's gonna do? Alone's actually gonna go with all these drones, unless he's pulling them. No, he's sending all these drones. The probe does scout out that there's no drones mining. But what he's gonna do with his drones, he's gonna go around the left side. He's gonna mine out the other mineral patch, and then he's gonna go and drill, and he's gonna get the minerals right into Jangbi's base. This is crazy. I'm sorry, I'm no longer articulate. I've just become like an Uber fan right now, and I am not even like articulating anything. I am just like this is cool. I've just become like a super fan right now. I'm just watching this and I'm like, what's going on? Jamie does see it out, and the mineral field is almost mined out, and Jamie's moving his zealots into position. He's just going to play defensive here. He's not going to be able to get to that choke in time. He's building a forge as well. Needs to get that cannon going. And what else have we got going on here? His gateways are going to be really exposed though, and he's building a Stargate as well. But he's going to be able to he can probably position a cannon to defend his forge and his Stargate. I'm not sure about his gateways. And the Zerglings are in the base, starting to pick off little things. They're going to get one probe there. Not able to do too much yet. Trying to catch the Zealots out of position, but Jangbi doing a pretty good job of defending here so far. And the Zerglings could actually go for the gateways, possibly. Yes, they're actually going to go for the pylon and see if they can stop stop any more Zealots from being produced, and they actually are going to be able to do it. The pylon does go down. The gateways are unpowered. Actually, it looks like one of the gateways is still powered. That one pylon, I think, is still powering the one gateway, so that is huge for Jangbi, if that is true. I believe the one gateway is still being powered. If that actually is true, and I didn't just see it like in my hopes and dreams that it actually is, that is going to be huge. Cannon is almost up. First Stargate is up, and he will be able to get Corsairs out as long as, yeah, he can build a Corsair, and then he'll be able to start picking up the Overlords and really start hitting Alone where it hurts. And he is trying to pick off the Stargate before the Corsairs come, but it looks like there's enough Zealots to stop this. Yes, there will be enough Zealots to stop this. Another pylon has appeared, and no, I think that was just my dreams making that second gateway actually able to beat mining. And but it looks like Jangbi actually with enough Zealots here that he can more or less handle these Zerglings at this point, especially once a couple more Zealots pop out. The next round of Zealots pop out, I think he'll be more than capable. There is a Corsair, and he's going to go immediately for the Overlord. He's going to try and pick those off, and he's going to be able to do so with relative ease. There is no anti-air out on the map anywhere at this moment for Alone, and Jangbi just needs to be careful not to throw away any Zealots, and it looks like he may have actually done so once. And this Stargate is going to go down, so just the one Corsair. So the one Corsair is going to go wander around the map, going to try and pick off as many Corsairs or as many Overlords as it can, and these Zerglings just trying to be as annoying as possible. But I think Jangbi has enough Zealots. Look at this, he's got two groups of Zealots that are both able to do a ton of damage, and he's actually going to be able to defend against this. And I think Alone's going to be forced to back off. This ploy of his actually does not work. Jangbi scouts it out. There is the Citadel of Adun, so he's going to be able to start working towards speed on his Zealots if he wants to counterattack. Now that that gap is open, we actually could see Jangbi counterattack through the back, and because of the power of Zealots, he can actually, if he could pull this off, he could actually send Zealots at both the front and the back, put pressure on the natural, put pressure on the main, and really put a hurting on Alone. And it looks like I may have actually called this. I think Jangbi's doing exactly that, maybe? Oh, yes, he is doing exactly that. He is sending out his Zealots, but at the same time, Alone is sending in some Zerglings from behind to see if they can pick off this gateway, and I think they're going to be able to. Yes, they will be able to pick off one of the gateways, so Jangbi's production will be halved here for military units. We do have Hydras out finally for Alone, so they will be able to stop this Corsair from picking off all of the Overlords, at least for now, and will have some success in defending himself. And Jangbi's got to be careful here with his Zealots that he doesn't get caught and lose his Zealots too easily, and he's actually wandering in here at the front now, so this is exactly what I was saying. He can do this, put pressure on both spots, and the Zealots do manage to pick off a drone, and then they're just going to sit here in the middle line, and if the Zerglings and the Hydralists get too aggressive there in the natural, well then now you've got 10 Zealots inside of your main, and if you really try and deal with the main force of Zealots, well, I mean, you know, these three Zealots will be able to stop any mining here, and they actually, even without doing anything, they have more or less stopped mining here at the natural expansion for quite some time. And the 7 Zealots are moving into the main of Alone, and they are going to see what damage they can do. The Zealots at the natural are just biding their time, and Jangbi just managed to pick off 1 drone, 2 drones. Will he get any more? He's starting to pick up the Zealots here. Could go for the spawning pool. No, he's not going to go for the spawning pool. Just going to try and keep his Zealots alive and put them in defensive positions in the mineral lines. Does manage to pick off another drone. Nope, he could pick off another drone. Not choosing to do so yet. Starting to lose off most of his Zealots. Like only a couple Zealots left. He's got them stuck in like corners, so they're kind of hard to kill right now, which is pretty nice for Jangbi. Did pick off a lot of Zerglings. However, he did not do any critical amount of damage there. He did not like end this game or anything at this time, and he does have DTs out and about as well. Corsair picking at the Overlord, and that DT just barely in the view range of that Overlord, but he does he is picking at it with his Corsair, and he's going to pick off that one at least. And he's just got to keep this DT alive. That DT is going to be very, very annoying. Jangbi taking his natural expansion with DTs and cannons as well as a couple Zealots, so he should be able to defend that pretty readily and should be in decent shape. And Alone still has not sent any drones to his natural expansion. Just really, really low on drones right now. Has been forced to produce so many Zerglings where his backdoor ploy, and then he had to get the Hydralists out in order to defend against his Corsair, and then he had to build a lot more Zerglings in order to deal with all the Zealots that streamed into his base. So yeah, Alone's actually in a little bit of trouble here. We got a couple of Hydralists coming around the backside. Looks like maybe he's going for a little bit of a backdoor here, and a couple cannons coming up in some uninteresting positions for Jangbi, just to stop any sort of extra attack that comes his way. He'll have that static defense. So if there's just a handful of Zerglings that try to backdoor, he will be able to defend against it. That's the plan right now for Jangbi. We've got Lurkers coming in, so that's the plan. The Lurkers are going to come in with probably Zergling support, try and pick off the cannons and see if they can just end this game. Pick off a lot of the extraneous buildings, see if they can get a couple runs into the into the probe line and end this game. This is very, very... Oh, man. Jangbi does see this. His DT is there. Is going to kind of block off... Will that actually stop lurkers? I wonder if that DT there will actually stop lurkers from coming through that gap, and I want to say that they will, actually. The Zerglings are in, but I don't think the lurkers... Yeah, the lurkers can't get through. So, yeah, interesting here. He's actually going to have to get a little bit tricky here. Going to have to use his lurkers, shoot at his own length in order to try and sneak them by, and Jangbi almost does pick off one lurker, so just one lurker left, and here we go. Just a handful of Zerglings and that lurker still left, and Alone trying to use this lurker to pick off that DT, not having a whole lot of success at all. And another DT has snuck into the main. 10 kill, 11 kill, 12 kill, 13, 14 kill DT. So this is it for Alone. He's got to find a way to get his lurker into the probe line, which I don't know how he's going to do it. But oh, there he is with all the Zerglings. They are going to come in here, and the lurker does go down. That is going to be it. Alone, GG's. Jangbi wins. Way to go, Jangbi. That was just a really entertaining game. And this is the kind of thing that I was hoping for out of this map. I was hoping for crazy games, backdoor games. They're just back and forth. Really, really fun to watch, and that was awesome. Jangbi gets the win. Evens the series up at 2-2. We're going to go on to the 5th and final set, the ace match, and all of the aces, all of the top guns for both these teams have played. So this is going to be interesting who comes out. I am really kind of curious. My gut instinct would say Sun and Brave, but I don't know. And but we will have to go on to the ace match to see, and I will see you guys all there in the ace match. Samsung Khan versus SKT tied up at 2 apiece.